Hello, welcome to my channel, Favorite Readings. Today, in honor of the new moon in Aries, I will be doing a pick-a-pile Rhapsodomancy divination reading. Now, Rhapsodomancy, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, is an ancient form of divination that was used by muses in ancient Greece. I will be using my own written poems in order to come about with intuitive messages, clairvoyance, and whatnot. Now, with the energy of the new moon in Aries, it's supposed to be firing up we're supposed to be getting all fired up about starting new adventures across all areas of our lives, especially fueling our creativity and pushing through obstacles. So, it will be on April 1st. Now, back in the day, spring equinox marked New Year's Day. It was considered the new year during the Hindu and Julian calendar era, which was close to April 1st, which brought about the tradition of April Fools, when people were considered gullible for not quickly moving over to the Gregorian calendar that we use to this day. So, in honor of the Fool, and I wanted to use placements of the Fool card from each one of my decks. Since I won't be using any tarot decks, I thought it would be nice to use them. Before we get started with the piles, I just want to remind everyone that I am not taking personal readings at this time. And if I were to in the future, I will never be sliding into your DM saying that there's a message for you and asking you for money. That's one of the tactics that scammers use, so please be aware and save your money for those who are doing personal readings or to spend on yourself in any way you choose to. And of course, these are general readings, if they're not personal, they're general. And all the messages that are said here today may not apply to you, whether or not it's just not your pile or just not your reading, and you're welcome to look at any other one of mine or pick any amount of piles as you choose to. Some messages may be for other people that they resonate with, so take what's for you. Alright, let's get into it. For pile number 1, I will be listing all of these below. Pile number 1 is the Fool card from Radleigh Valentine's Angel Messages Tarot deck. If you wanted to get a good look at there, it's got a backpack, and of course the Fool represents new beginnings and adventures, which ties in with the energy of Aries in the new moon here. Pile number 2 will be from, again, Radleigh Valentine. I didn't realize that, but yes, Radleigh Valentine's The Dreamer, which symbolizes the Fool, and it's from his Fairy Tarot deck. And last and certainly not least, we have the Fool card from the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And if you're called to that one, you can certainly take your time or rewind to look at the cards and get a feel for it. I will be putting a picture inside of the clip at the beginning I've forgotten the name for it again. I always look it up and then I forget. So, but that's okay. There will be a picture at the beginning of the video for you to look at and decide which one is best suited for you. If you can't decide, roll a die, or I sometimes put my hand over it to feel which one feels hot and which one feels cold. There certainly can be more than one. You might be called to all of them. Do what is best for you, and I will be moving on to pile number 1. So here we go. Pile number 1. If you chose the Radleigh Valentine full card from the Angel Messages Tarot deck, this is for you. There we go. All right, and to pick out poems, I have the calculator.net roll dice, and I have 47 poems still. Haven't quite been working on that, so that might be something that brings about in the new year for me. So I wanted to ask the question of, I should have said that at the beginning. The question is going to be what's coming out for you between new beginning is coming towards you between now and the next April. So yeah. What new beginning, new start is coming for pile number 1s, please, spirit guides, guardians, ancestors? Can I get new beginnings for our favored ones, please? And thank you. Okay, we have number 10. So 10 is the number of completion in numerology. So it looks like you will be completing a cycle and starting a new beginning. So that's quite some cool synchronicity. So for anyone that is new, some of my poems can get heavy. If you're not in the right state of mind for that at the moment, you can certainly pause and come back to it when you're ready. Of course, usually the intuitive messages are one of determination, and that's what I'm getting here right away, is that you're finding yourself being determined between now and next April. I'll get into the poem first. So 10, proud. Disappointed in humanity, society based on individuals' vanity. When you're left with only being fine, crawling and clawing your way to the finish line, darkness as you descend further in your dive, holding out for your time to feel alive, treading frantically so hope does not become jaded. So hope does not become faded, rejecting the urge to give in to the jaded. Never done as I've been told, ended with being scolded. Resilience is key to rising above, making a future filled more with love. Refuse to believe that there's no one like you, who's ready to stand up and make a change too. Always been told I'm either too nice or loud, but you'll never stop me from being proud. So I feel pile number 1's a lot of you have been working on opening up your throat and heart chakras in order to become aligned, and it seems like you're very grounded in your own self, and your third eye and crown chakra is open, and now you're just working on feeling safe enough, which is your sacral chakra, and opening your heart and throat to speak on things that you want to. And that's definitely a new beginning that's going to be happening between now and next April, is holding out. Or of course, if you're watching this not on April, then it'd be a year from the date that you're watching. But yeah, you're going from treading frantically so that your hope doesn't become fading. You're getting a new spark. You're getting fired up about being hopeful in humanity. It could be due to restrictions lessening and things becoming more open, so that you may, or you're speaking out towards on things that are happening in society that you didn't want to see happen anymore. You could be an advocate of any sorts. You could be a promotional speaker. You could just be one who shines lights on things that are happening that you can't just turn away from amongst your family and community. You don't have to do it on a global scale. You can just do it within your own friend group, and that makes a big difference. Some of us feel like we're not doing enough all the time, and if we work on ourselves and try to keep people who are within our community, you know, keep them in check, I guess, I don't know other way to say it, informed or up to date on things that are happening, and saying what you need to on the inside in order to feel like you left a situation that you did your best. And that's all you can do. I feel like you're going to be working on realizing over the next year that that you're not willing to give up. There was a point there that you were thinking about giving up and just letting yourself sink further and further into the circumstances that was happening around you, but you started to realize this is circumstances is about where you are and not who you are, and you're learning to embrace who you are despite what's going on around you. And I think that's a very brave thing to do, pile number ones. Where it says here, never done as I've been told. So it feels like you're breaking out of societal norms and not being based on vanity. Like people say you should look a certain way, act a certain way, and you're not giving into that, and you're speaking out for yourself, you know, and laughing and singing. Some of you may be singers, and with the always been told I'm, loud or too nice. You're finding that middle ground of knowing when to be tactful, which is like a more assertive way of being blunt, because being brutally honest and blunt is like a more aggressive way of being assertive and tactful, and you're learning how to find that middle ground of standing up for yourself and others, and also knowing how to get the message across instead of just being, spitting things out of your teeth and the other person not really hearing you. Where it says, always being told I'm too nice or loud. So either you're being too, and people saying you're being too nice for your own good. The universe will always bring back the love you have given out. It may not be from the person you gave it to or in the environment that you gave it to, but it most certainly will come back to you in the end. And I feel like you're holding out for that. And a time to feel alive. I feel like it's your time to feel alive. Now, of course, throughout our lives, everyone it doesn't plateau. It's like, yeah, it's the time of my life. It's gonna be like this. I wish it was. Unfortunately, that's unrealistic. We have highs and lows no matter who we are and no matter what situation we're in. And I don't want to compare because hardship and struggles shouldn't be compared, they should be empathized and understood. Making a future filled more with love. Now, when I said that you're an advocate, you don't have to just be a public speaker, although you can be a teacher, you can be a healer, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, especially during this time, you know, with everyone's more worried about what's going on with them than taking care of others, which is really something that we should have looked more into during this pandemic. And you're finding that there's more people like you. I feel like pile number ones, you were giving up on thinking that there was 16 on the clock when I said that you were giving up on thinking that there was any other people who were kind and generous and understanding and wanting better for everyone out there. And you're finding those people, they're coming towards you. You're finding that support team, you're finding that soul family, your chosen family, depends on what you want to call it. You're having that come in the next year because you're really radiating out that that energy of you'll never stop me from being proud. You are proud. If not yet, that's what's coming for you over the next years, and you definitely deserve to feel proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, pile number ones, because it is a claw and crawling to the finish line feeling some days, and in order to turn the boat around and be like, no, I'm not going to give in to that. I'm going to have a future filled with more love. I'm going to stand up and make a change. I'm going to feel alive. I'm going to reject the urge to give in to the jaded. And that's some stuff. If you can not let everything that's around you and you've been through turn your heart cold, yeah, you may build up a wall and you might have to open your heart back up, but to not make it mean and bitter, and even if it didn't, you still feel like, you know, I don't want to be like that, and taking actions towards it so you aren't, is amazing. And it's one of the things I had to work on personally, so I know is definitely something that is worth being proud of. Now, but it says here right in the thing, and I'm just gonna leave it off with this last message before I do the stuff, is that resilience is the key to rising above. Is the one last message, and they wanted me to show you your card again and show you how innocent and that you're protected and transforming with that butterfly there, and you know, going back to your inner child and learning how to work through everything that you had gone through growing up in order to achieve your connecting with your higher self, and then in turn you becoming the protector of the next generation. You want to protect and take care of the next generation, and And not a lot of people care. Everybody, has a different way of viewing things, and some people feel like it's the next generation's job to learn and figure it out. But they sometimes forget that it's us, this generation, that needs to teach them. And the fact that you're willing to teach the next generation is a big thing. So if you ever feel like nobody needs you or is proud of you, I want you to know I am. You can have my vote of confidence, because I feel like there needs to be more energy of wanting to take care of the next generation, whether it be plants, animals, humans, just the whole next generation. So these could be for confirmation of what I just said, names, dates, emojis giving you hype. But yeah, pile number ones, please, Spirit. Pile number ones. Is that everything? Yes. Oh, no, they want me to take the one that fell out of here. There we go. They want you to laugh off the haters and societal norms, which I feel like you do anyways, but they just want to let you know to keep up the good work on not letting people around you. You've grown so much that you haven't let people around you. You just let it slide off your shoulder. If you haven't, of course, if you pick this pile, this is what is coming for you for over the next year. They gave me L and O, so love. They want you to love yourself and others as you have been. More love will be coming in, and that for yourself in the next year. Number 5, 6, 9, and 0 could be important to you. Some of you could be working on social medias and whatnot, or have your own business with the ad sign. You don't have to, but it certainly can be a confirmation for those who are watching. All right. Well, thank you, pile number ones, for showing up and letting me read my poems and give my intuitive messages to you. I wish you a best next year, and enjoy the new moon. All right. Happy new moon. Remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye. Pile number 2. If you chose the Radleigh Valentine's Fairy Tarot deck Fool card, then this reading is for you. It says, embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. So I feel like there's a lot of innocence with the white rose here as well. And some of you may have gone hiking recently with the tall hill here, a mountain hill hiking, and whatnot with this. Hold on, I just gotta bring up my poem. Now, I didn't say this at the beginning, that it was 2442, so you could be seeing this number a lot. I didn't say at the beginning that this will be for a timeless reading, so it will be for a question of asking what's coming, what new beginning is coming for you between now and next next April, or whenever you're seeing this in the next year from the date you are seeing it. And oh, hold on, before I get into picking which poem is yours. There's a cardinal in the picture. So cardinal signs in the zodiac are Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So those could be your signs in any part of your natal placements. It certainly doesn't have to be, but it could be a confirmation that this is your reading. Yeah. As well as she is a monarch butterfly, so that symbolizes transformation. Hopefully y'all can see that from there. If not, I apologize. Okay, so to pick your poem, I have the calculator.net dice roller, 47 poems. A message for our favored ones, pile number 2, please, spirit guides, guardians, and ancestors, please give us a poem number. Oh, thank you. Poem number 32. 5. Poem number 32. Alright. So, poem number 32 is called Aging River. Aging river, love known, fear shown, once a maiden, crone and soon awaken. Planted seed, thrived bead. That is not what it says. 1 second. A love known, fear shown, once a maiden, crone and soon awaken. Planted seed, threaded bead. Navigate obstacles swiftly upstream, descendant beneath the lustrous moonbeam. So I feel some of you maybe pile number 2s are getting close to the next stage of your life. Like you could be ending a decade of age with your birthday or whatnot, or just a stage of your life in general where you're finally growing up, it seems, you know, because Chrome usually indicates the last stage. So you could be at the last stages of your awakening. You could have went through Kundalini awakening. You could have finished up some shadow work. You can always go through multiples of those. So it's not like you have one and then you never have one again. You can always have another awakening part. But it feels like you're getting close to figuring out who you are and facing your fears. So like shining a light on what your fears are, but still knowing that you're worthy of love. You know, knowing that it is okay to be afraid and that in order to conquer your fears, you must face them. So you must show your fears. So your fears are being shown to you and you're conquering them over the next year. I see pile number 2s, which is amazing thing to go through, is finding the things that you're afraid of and working through them. Like if you're afraid of being vulnerable, I find you'll be opening up and putting yourself out there again. If you have I have a low battery, so 1 second. That actually gives me. Oh dear. Okay. Where was I at? Oh yes. If you're feeling unrested and like your battery's constantly low, you're learning how to say no to others, knowing that you still deserve love and rest, and not overextending your energy to others. Like if you spend too much time on social media, you'll be spending less time on social media, at least stuff that drains your energy and doesn't fill you up with good feelings. You know, if you're afraid of singing, or public speaking, you'll be putting yourself out there, maybe possibly even a YouTube channel or, TikTok or Instagram, things that kids use nowadays. I also feel like that you're navigating obstacles upstream. Reminds me of when the salmon run goes up the hill so that they can create a family. So that might be something you are afraid of, is that you may never have a family and you're going to open yourself up for that love or that family, or realizing that you and your one cat or rabbit or plant or as many pets as you have, and or if you have none, that's okay. You yourself is your own family. You don't need to have this big extravagant family. If that's what you want, amazing. But that doesn't make you less of a family because you haven't found that yet. And I feel like over the next year, whenever you may be watching this, as it is timeless, you're finding a way to plant those seeds to, and started threading the bead of creating who you want to be at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day when you wake up, that makes you feel loved. Some of you may be working with moon. You could have deities like Hecate or Artemis. There are plenty of moon deities that I'm not going to get into all of them, but it is possible that you are working with the moon. If you don't have a deity, you may just enjoy the moon, which is perfectly fine. Or you work with the moon as not as an individual, but just as a celestial rock, and you use it in your rituals. Regardless, I feel like pile number 2 is that you're going to be working on that over the next year. Some of you are definitely going to be working on gardening with the planted seeds, and some of you may be bead workers, fashion designers, plant growers, herbalists, especially with Once a Maiden and Crone Soon Awaken. You may be working with gardening gods, like outdoor god types of gods and goddesses. And some of you may be afraid of finding your awakening, and that's okay. It could be some time before you feel comfortable, and you don't have to be out as someone who does that kind of work. You can just do your practices on your own. That's perfectly fine as well. With the descent beneath the moonbeam, because some people like to do things in private, and if you're a private person, that's perfectly okay too. You don't have to post all your things you do on your blog or anything like that. And if you do, then all the power to you as well. I feel like with navigating the obstacles, it was doing it swiftly over the next year. So if you plan on starting up anything, whether it's a business, just starting a new way of living and eating, is definitely going to get swiftly over those obstacles. You may feel down for a couple of days at a time, which is perfectly normal. We're human, we're allowed to feel overwhelmed sometimes, but I definitely see you getting swiftly past it. And, you know, it's got to be swift if you're moving upstream. The upstream also reminds me of it brought to me the image of the Ace of Cups, which reminds me of divinely guided. Sorry, I think I had the hiccups there for a second. Which reminds me of things that are being divinely guided. So I feel over the next year, with the awakening part, you will be divinely guided towards the next stage of your awakening, whether you be the young maiden, the mother, or the crone, because you could be going from one stage. I feel like pile number 2s are really intuitive people and individuals who, whether you're male or female or non-binary, that is just the stages of young to established to being wise. So I feel like over the next year is not even really going to be a fool's journey, because you're not really starting from the beginning. I feel like this is the middle stage from wherever you are. If you are at the beginning, you'll be moving up to the next stage. If you are in the middle stage where you're like the mother going to crone, like I don't want to call it the maiden mother crone. It was just really nice in the poem, but that's not what I'm getting here. What I'm getting here is when you're at the beginning, you're just starting off. And then after a while, you become established and knowledgeable, but you're not quite wise. I feel like for pile number 2s, over the next year, you're going to go from either the beginning to being established. If you're already established in your business, you're going to go from being established to becoming wise. And if you are already wise, then you are starting again by teaching those who are coming after you and planting the seeds of the next people who come through to do the same thing. And showing that, you know, you're able to overcome all of these obstacles despite being afraid. And that's what bravery and courage is not the absence of fear, but doing it regardless of being fearful. And I think that's a really heroic thing to be doing. So I'm proud of you, pile number 2s. We'll go into this now. So yeah, remember to plant those seeds and also take action. Good luck with all of your next year's harvest and whatnot with those planted seeds, and happy crafts and arts and whatnot with the threaded beads. Careful with your fingers and, I know, thimble and whatnot. I got the word jack in my head because the word jack be nimble, and I don't know why. It has nothing to do with thimble, but when I said thimble, I got nimble and jack be quick. So your name could be Jack, but it doesn't have to be. Oh, Jack of all trades. I feel like pile number 2, you're a real jack of all trades. You're not just doing one thing, you're doing a whole bunch of different stuff at one. You could be about the mind, you could be about society, you could be about arts and crafts, you could be about herbals, you could be about a whole bunch of things. Like, you are never out of your element. Give it time. Because, when the salmon is also a big, deep fish, a deep sea fish, it travels a lot. You could be a traveler. You could be someone who's never really out of your norm. And, no matter what area you are loved, and you love doing it. You love doing multiple things at once. You could be in a big deep sea ocean, fish, and swim with the sharks, and the next minute you're up in a nice little stream. No one to worry about but a bear. I'm trying to make this be wholesome. But yeah, you're never out of your environment. Element. You're never out of your element because you're always in water. You just might be out of, no matter the environment, you're never out of your element. Ooh, I got it out. Woo! Swim, fishy, swim. But yeah, pile number 2 is you could be very multifaceted. You could be into a lot of different things. Now, doesn't mean that you're a crone for all of them. Some of them it might be new, and some of it you might be very wise about it. Some of you might be so in the middle with the established, but you love doing a lot of different things, and you go from. And once you've already become a crone for something, you move on to the next thing. You're always wanting to learn something new. You always want to get on to the next project. You're always swimming, just swimming, and getting stuff done. So that's the last thing. I had the epiphany. 4224 was on the clock, so that's again with the 2s and 4s. So could be something you're seeing. Oh, well, pile number 2s, please. Spirit, guides, guardians. Oh, maybe drop those ones. Okay, they weren't meant. They weren't meant. That's okay. Only that one. Is this everything, Spirit? It's everything? Oh, okay. Okay. It gave me the name Loki. So some of you maybe work with the shape-shifting god Loki, or you guys might just enjoy the show or Avengers and stuff like that. But it says I Loki, or you could be low-key super cool at things and you don't really like to let yourself shine because you have that fear of being seen and shining your light. So something that's coming here is the shiny light, or that you're able to shapeshift and become one with your environment. Like, if it's not the exact thing low-key, it might be communicating with you or like to work with you. Now, that message need not be for everyone, which is why I'm going with the you could be low-key a jack of all trades, as I was saying, and you don't really let your talent shine, and the spirit wants you to work and have that come to you over the next year, between April and April, or whenever you're watching, a year from the date you watch. Yeah, no, that's everything. Of course, the Loki, he transforms absolutely into anything. So, you know, and a trickster, so you guys like my, oh, so you might like playing tricks and pranks and stuff like that, especially with it being a, you know, quote unquote April Fools. Some of you might be into that. So yeah, it could be a little extra confirmation for you. It's kind of cute synchronicity that is low-key comes out for April Fools. And yeah, no, that's everything for my pile number 2s. Happy new moon, and I hope you enjoy yourself, and thank you for letting me read off my poems and give you my intuitive messages. Yeah, remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, bye. Pile number 3s. If you chose the Waite Rider deck, the Fool from the Waite Rider deck, then this is for you. Oh, that's interesting. I've never said that before. I'm reading. Please work. Please. I guess I'm not going to be able to look it up. I've never noticed before, but on his shirt, it kind of looks like sand dollars. Some of you may, especially with the rose here and the sand dollars, which is a type of seashell, may work with Aphrodite, as she enjoys shells and roses. So that's something I've never noticed before with this Fool card, but I know it's supposed to be mountains, but it does look like a big crash of wave in the background, which she is considered to be steam foam. The next part of your journey could be in regards to finding love or lust. It depends on what you're into and what you're looking for. She is the goddess of both. So if you don't work with her, that's just an indication that that's what's going to be coming for you in the next year, from April to April 1st, or whenever you're seeing this, of course, as it's timeless. I wanted to look up one thing. It will let me now. Thank you. Sand dollar symbolism. Oh, cool. Sand dollars represent coins lost by mermaids or the people of Atlantis. So some of you may be really enjoy mermaids or anthropology. It may be something that you're studying or looking into, or just history in itself and mythologies. I know that there is some who believe that Atlanteans were a type of race here at one point. So it could be that your ancestors were from there, as that is what some people do believe. I'm not very well versed on it, so I don't want to speak out too much on it. But I do know that it was supposed to be based on the Avalon, and it was why Newfoundland is called the Avalon Peninsula. Now, some of you may be from Newfoundland or Irish. That could be an indication for you as well, which is super cool, because the reasons why I recognize the sand dollars is that's where I picked up sand dollars a lot when I was living in Newfoundland. It was one of my funnest things to do was pick up sand dollars and clean them of their sand, which took forever. Maybe some of you have been waiting for this new love or love within yourself or a lustful partner, depending on what you are looking for a long time. And it feels like you may have wanted to, give up. This could be an indication that it is coming in soon. It's coming in with the tide of the year. And let me just get to my dice roller here. They're also supposed to be suggest a large, a silver coin, such as an old Spanish or American dollar. So you could be Spanish or from America as well. I don't want to leave that out, just in case there is someone there who resonates with that. All right. Pile number 3, please. Can I get for our favored ones a message, please, for the next year of new beginnings? New beginnings for our favored ones, please. Spirit guides, guardians. Number 3. Okay. So you could be seeing 3 a lot. That could be an indication for you. Could be a birthday, time you see constantly, something on a receipt, video game numbers. I don't know why I did the hang loose sign. Some of you might be surfers, or a surfing board could be important to you. Oh, dang. Okay. I wrote this a really long time ago when I went to a Salem witch convention with my, well, it wasn't with my school, it was like extracurricular, and I decided to go. It's called Witches Enchantment, and it's called Witches Enchantment. All the plans in my mind include our hearts intertwined. Love me, hear what I say. You shall soon see things my way. On the sacred night where the moon is full and round, together we shall be forever bound. So some of you may be feeling like it's taking so long for you to find love that you're contemplating a love spell, and I just wanted to let you know that don't start a wedding with a kidnapping. Of course, you're gonna do whatever you see fit. The heart is not something to play around with. It could also indicate that you could have a love spell put on you. If you're constantly thinking about someone's name and, obsessively, and, constantly listening to love songs like nothing else will do but love songs, you may have a love spell on you. And I'll link down a video below that I know of someone who's more well versed in this than I, below if you wanted to find out how to remove it, if you do feel like you will feel inside of yourself that that's true. For those who feel like you should, hold off. You deserve someone who will love you unconditionally for you, and it definitely shouldn't be someone you're waiting on. Nothing that's meant for you will pass you by. So if they're meant for you, they will come along. And I have one friend who said love spells don't work unless you somewhat have feelings. So if they somewhat have feelings for you, then there's no point in rushing it, and let divine guidance unfold it naturally. If you are wanting love in your favor, maybe a more appropriate, not appropriate because your rituals and crafts are your own and not for me to judge. And you may not even do deity work, so there's a deity work. So having you ask Aphrodite to open your heart, to give yourself self-love, and possibly bring in an innocent new love beginning for you. And it won't be innocent if you've, tipped the scales in your favor. Now, I'm not saying don't manifest someone who will love and respect you, and just put that out into the universe every day. I love and respect myself, and I am manifesting someone who loves and respects me. And it was 555 on the clock. I said that. But if you see here with the rose, it's white, and it usually indicates innocence. So an innocent love, It could be, for those who aren't resonating with the last two, is that you are finding the innocence, to love the innocence within yourself, which means your inner child. You could be working on loving your inner child again by doing things that you enjoyed when you were younger, hopscotch, video games, board games, cloud watching, surfing, and stuff like that. This poem was, at the time I wasn't really, I believed in this stuff, but I hadn't really come to terms with believing in this side of magic. And it was meant to be, they asked me to write a love potion spell to get from a witch. So that's the number one indication of why I think that you have a love spell on you, or you're thinking of one, is because that was the initial assignment of me writing this poem when I was like 13, 14. So yeah, I will link down below another YouTuber's video on how they are gonna how they did it, and how to, but yeah, they described it as if you're constantly thinking about them, like more than you should, like you're trying to think about something else and their name just keeps coming in and like disrupting you to the point of being disruptive. And for those who are thinking about it, this is what you're going to do to them. You're going to make them, it's not nice. It's not fun to, when they're trying to think about anything, not just another person. You're really meshing in their free will, and spirit is for those who are just. So I'm just letting you know that it could backfire on you, since spirit favors those who are just. But that is only my personal experience and opinion. You are certainly welcome to do what you feel called to. Speaking of call, I just called them and asked them, and if they don't like you, you're worth being liked, because you are a lovable being, and deserve respect and your free will, as so everyone else does deserve love and respect and the right to exercise their free will. So yeah, look into Aphrodite. if you are already into ritual work. If not, then keep holding out for love. You deserve it, and it will come along. Gateway, because it was 10001 and 000 equals infinite, and a gate with the 2 1s. So you were opening up an infinite gateway to love. Just work on yourself and don't give up. So these messages can go along with what I said, extra confirmation, or absolutely nothing to do with it. Sod, so dirt. Lay the foundation of love for yourself so that you can accept love from others and bring in love from others. If you keep feeling like you're never going to get love and you're not worthy of it, then it's always going to elude you, because that's the energy you're giving out to the universe to send back to you. It was 1111, pay attention. Got the word. These could be any names. Dionysus. He's the goddess of madness and party. You may work with him. I am not sure how to pronounce his name, and I know I'm butchering it right now, but I have the D, I, Z, O, and S, and I know there's usually a Y. I can say it in my head, but it doesn't want to come out. Could be working with that as well, but yeah, you could cause madness within that person, and if you wish to see them like that, that's not true and real love. So 9, 0, and 6s could be important. Names could be with we have O, Z, I, S, D. That's not real love. Warning. Or exclamation point, depending on how you want to do it. And could be initials D and S, Z and O, D and I, S and O. These could be names. Zeus is also here as well. It could be dealing with thunder. These are up for your inner self to resonate with. But yeah, that was all the messages. I didn't mean to get too deep in there without being harsh. When I do know that it can be heavy and on the heart when you have to wait for a while, but you are worth the wait. I just want you to know that, pile number 3s, whether you're taking steps to do rituals or not. If someone has done them on you, you are worth the wait. You're worth the wait. Whether you're waiting on someone to recognize you, whether you're waiting on someone to come along, whether you're waiting for the love of yourself to spark back in you, whether you're waiting for your creativity to come back. You could be studies, since there was a lot of mythology coming out. You could be in studies and anthropology, so you could be waiting for your love of studying to come back. That could be something that's on the thing. on the fritz and waiting and coming for you over the next year is graduating. But yeah, you're worth the wait. I even paused there because I was like, you need to know you're worth the wait, you're worth the patience. If someone has put a love spell on you, you were worth waiting for to come to that conclusion on your own or to be left alone. Either way, I didn't mean to be judgmental of anyone. I know how hard it is to be longing for love, and I wish you all to find the love within yourself. I know it's there. If anyone's watched through from pile number 1 to pile number 3, I wanted to say thank you for supporting me and listening to my poems and my intuitive messages. Anyone else who has any topics or themes you would like me to discuss, let me know below. And so give me a likes and thumbs up so other people can see my content and hopefully find the messages that are meant for them. Again, I wanted to say happy new moon and eat, hydrate, and have fun. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, favorite ones.